What up, everyone? Time for a box and a review. We got our Loot Crate. So yeah, this box month's theme was fantasy. So let's just jump right in. Gotta bring in my old buddy here, Darth Vader. Can't forget him. In case you can't see my shirt, it's pretty freaking sweet. Got some TIE fighters with Darth Vader and a little X-Wing, Y-Wing fighter for the lightsaber. Thought this was a really cool shirt. Found this for like $10. Awesome. Anyway, Loot Crate. Fantasy theme. So, gotta be totally honest, I'm sick of the fantasy themes. It seems like the only two themes that I've never really liked that are out there are Game of Thrones and fantasy. And those also happen to be the two most common themes out there. Everyone has done a Game of Thrones or a fantasy theme. It's just so common. There's just way too many of them. I think all these boxes think they're being different by doing it, but it's just so common. So I think we should officially just retire the fantasy Game of Thrones themes. Like, let's just be done with them and never see them again. I would be perfectly okay with that. So, nothing against either of those if they just come up way too often. Anyway, so let's jump right into the box. First we got our shirt, and we got a cool little Dungeons & Dragons shirt. So that's pretty cool. It's a little ampersand, and it's in the shape of a dragon. That's really cool. And I tried it on, and it fit pretty well. It's the Gildan soft style, so it's a little bit softer, and it was pretty fitted. So, no complaints there. Again, not perfect in the quality, but good enough. Good enough to wear it, so I like that. Next, we got a little tie. Got a fun little tie with a little dragon and a little like gem or like it's like a 20-sided die shape. I'm not sure the name of the exact shape, but yeah, nice little bow tie. Cool. I wear ties. I don't mind that at all. Then we got an inflatable crown. This one's just kind of filler. This one's just for fun. And this is what I keep reminding back to. They put in items that are definitely geared more towards kids. And I think this is one of them. But that's okay. It was just a filler one. Inflatable crown. Cool. Not much to say about it. Then, this is actually a luggage tag. This is from Harry Potter. The 9 3/4. I'm not super familiar with Harry Potter, so I'm not totally sure of the reference. And I'm sure I'll get blown up in the comments telling me all about it. That's fine. But yeah. So this is a luggage tag. You put your information on the back side of it, and it's for your luggage. Alright, I guess that's cool. If you have luggage and that looks very generic, you can put this tag on it to recognize your luggage. Okay. Alright, that works. Then, we got a deck of cards. The Princess Bride. That's cool. Decks of cards are very common. You see these, I wouldn't say often by any means, but you see them every once in a while in boxes. But they got cool pictures on them, and, that's fine. As long as they don't show up too much. But, you can always use these. Everyone plays card games, so it's always somewhat useful. And Princess Bride was a great movie. I don't know anyone that didn't like that movie. It's a classic, so, yeah, I'm cool with that. Deck of cards. Next, we actually got a USB flash drive. And I think this is cool because I use flash drives a lot. I don't know if everyone else does, but I use flash drives all the time. And this... Come on. Get out of it. This has got the little... I'm not sure if it's a dragon or it's a wolf. Yeah, I think it's a wolf. Yeah. So, yeah. And this comes apart, and there's your little USB flash drive. This is a 4 gig flash drive. So that's pretty cool. I use these all the time, and it's always fun to have ones in cool shapes. Now, yeah, again, I'm not super fond of the whole fantasy theme. I've just never been that into fantasy, so a lot of these concepts of items are kind of lost on me, which is a bummer, but oh well. Then, we have some magnets. Again, Game of Thrones, so same Game of Thrones fantasy theme. And these are decent quality magnets, so, again, not much to say about that. And then we got our pin. So, that was all the items. We just kind of sped right through. This will be a quick and easy one. Overall, again, this is my personal opinion. I'm not a huge fan of the fantasy thing. And Game of Thrones, I just haven't checked it out yet. I just haven't had time to go watch it. I've heard it's fantastic, but I haven't. I keep wishing that I had because it keeps showing up in boxes all the time. being like crammed down my throat, so I should probably go check it out soon. But overall, regardless of that, this isn't about me. It's about you guys. It's about rating it for you guys and helping you guys find a good box. So overall, I thought it was decent. Had some interesting items. Not everything was super high quality, but had a good mix of stuff, and the t-shirt worked out. But yeah, let's just jump into a value of this box. So the shirt. The shirt, I'll put 12 to 15, but I'd probably put this more towards 15 because it's a cool shirt. I like the symbol on it. It's pretty original. It was printed well, so it's not like heavy on the ink. It actually sits in pretty nicely, and it was fitted, and it's pretty soft. So I thought it was an overall pretty cool shirt. I liked it. So I think that would get more of a $15 rating. Next, the tie. So in the little brochure they give us, it said something interesting, which I was very confused about. It's for the tie. It said, what was the brand? Hold on, stand by. Yeah, it said Spotted and Tied in the brochure. Now, Spotted and Tied is actually a tie brand, but a very, very nice one. You couldn't get one for less than like $80 on their website. They're very nice and very branded. But the funny thing is, this isn't from Spotted and Tied. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or a joke, or maybe they had a partnership with them and that eventually got canceled and they forgot to take it out. But that's not what this is from. So I found that very odd. I'm not sure what the explanation is behind that. But this is from something called Black Tie Geek. So we've gotten one from them before. Back in the day, we got the little Galaga Space Invaders style tie that was like a regular necktie from the same company. Now this company doesn't have their website set up yet, but they're going to at some point. They just haven't got around to it. So it was a little bit harder to value this, but most ties would go for a decent amount. This is decent quality. It's not fantastic, but it's good enough quality. It's not super cheap or anything like that. So I would easily put this at like $8 to $10. I could easily see like a tie with a cool design on it going for $10 easily. Now if it was a well-established company, they'd go for much more than that. They'd go for like 15, 20, 30, and again for like Spotted and Tied, $85, $100 for a tie depending on the quality. So I think this could easily get an $8 to $10 value, and it's got a cool print on it. But then again, you'd have to be into wearing ties. I think most of the geek and nerd community does. I wear ties. I like them. But a lot of people may not like them. It's kind of personal preference. But I thought that was cool, and it's got a cool design on it. So no problem there. The deck of cards. So this, nothing super special about it. I could see this going for like $5 or $6. Sometimes these decks of cards can go like upwards of like $10 and higher than that, depending on what's printed on there. If it has really cool pictures by like a well-established artist or something like that, or like Marvel, DC, specialty stuff, it'll go a little bit higher. But something for the Princess Bride that's not very relevant these days, that's why I only put it like $5 to $6. I think that's fair. That's a good amount, and I think that's what someone would pay for that. And they're cool cards, so they have a cool design on them. So $5 to $6. Now the flash drive. If it was just a normal 4 gig USB flash drive, it wouldn't go for that much. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. It'd be like $3 or $4. But since this is actually shaped like something and has a picture on it, this will go for a little bit more. I said in the Collectible Geek one, like when they're shaped like something from a popular series, the prices get really jacked up. If you were to buy this in a store, this would be over $10 easily, but I'm not going to value it that high. I think a reasonable value for this would be $6 to $8. Again, in store, much more than that, but you could probably get something similar to this for like around $8, give or take. So I'm going to put it right around that. And it's useful. I think it's cool, even though I'm not that into the show. I'm still going to use it, and I think it's really cool looking. So easily $8, probably even more than that, to be quite honest, but I don't want to give these items too much value. Next, the tag. Again, very specific taste. You kind of have to need that specifically, much like the tie. It's a luggage tag, so you would need a luggage tag. This would go for like $5 to $6 because it is branded, it is from Harry Potter, it is useful, and it is of like semi-decent quality. So it would take in a few dollars there, so right around $5 I think is reasonable for that. Then, the magnets. So these could go for $4 or $5. I could easily see it going for that. I think that's reasonable. Again, it only comes with like 4 of them, and they're not super amazing, and doesn't come in like super nice packaging, but $4 or $5, I think it's reasonable if you liked Game of Thrones and you wanted some magnets. I think that's fair. Then the crown, this was just filler. I would see this at like a dollar store. If you went to Party City, I'm sure it would be super cheap or something like that. So it might go for a few dollars, but I'm only going to put this at like $1 or $2. Again, if it was at nice packaging or branded or something like that, it would go as high as like $10. But for just like a random generic one, seems like something that would go in a Happy Meal or something like that, like $1 or $2, no big deal. So I valued a lot of these items pretty low, but even with the lower value, on the low end, this box got a value of about 44, and on the high end, about 51. And I was pretty conservative about these values. I think if any of these were sold in store, they'd be jacked up a lot. But I tried to mark down a lot of the prices on these just to give like generic prices of resale value and things like that. But even still, on the low end of this 44, that is more than double. So Loot Crate, again, proves that it is just really stepping it up with the value. They always have amazing value. They always have like at least double, if not more than double, like 2.5 times or something like that. So they always have crazy value. So again, I wasn't a fan of this theme, and I think a lot of people, not that they weren't a fan of it, but you'd kind of have to have specific tastes. Like the bow tie is like you'd have to wear ties, and the luggage tag, you have to use it for luggage, and the crown, it's like it's not that useful. So it's not that they were bad items or a bad theme, it's just a lot of these things weren't very practical, and I don't think everyone would like every item in there. So for that reason, it didn't get a super high value. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 because you did get a crazy high value. So it's hard to hate anything when you get such good value there. But the theme, I don't think it hit it like perfectly. A lot of the items in here were more for specific tastes. The tie and things like that, like it's for more specific people. So I think this one was a narrower market. It wasn't for like the broad general masses like many of their boxes are. So they're getting more specific on the themes, and they're getting a much more narrow market. So I'm trying to rate this for the general population, what most people would like for it. And I don't think everyone would like this box. I think some people would love it if they like fantasy, if they watch Game of Thrones, but again, it's very niche market, and I don't think this box is for everyone. But again, can't argue with the value. It had such high value, like that's why it boosted its score. So 7 out of 10 I think is reasonable. Let me know what you guys think, the value of the box. If you loved all the items, like give me some opinions. So hope to hear from you guys soon. Thank you all for watching. Love you all. Peace.